Epic 7 has provided us with lots of joy over the years. It has given us the opportunity to see a whole new fantasy world filled with magic and superpowers. We also have the opportunity to watch Raz do things we can't do in real life. This game has brought players so much joy and happiness. That is if I were to stop talking right then and there. Unfortunately, when it comes to PvP, sometimes Smilegate doesn't quite hit the mark with their new unit releases. And today, we will take a look at that exactly and rank the 5 worst meta in an RTA season. Number 5. Ambition Season. Ambition Season was the first season where the counter mechanic was really starting to take over the meta, with Rem, Violet and Ballin released and Apocalypse Ravi getting an insane buff. It was chaos. Counter gear is the worst gear set in the game. And I'm not talking about viability wise. I'm talking about the bullshit casino aspect of it. Can you imagine being that one guy in the balancing team being like, oh yeah, we really cooked on this one. Rem and Violet would thankfully become obsolete fast. But Ravi, oh my god. Her passive heals a fuck ton every single time. And there was this artifact that let her cleanse a debuff every single time she gets hit. Trust me, I know from the description it says 50%, but it's only 50% when it's your Ravi. It's 100% on every enemy Ravi. Conviction Season was the beginning of the Conqueror Lilia's long domination in the game. I personally didn't really dislike this meta. In fact, my best finishes in RTA were during the golden age of Conqueror Lilias. Especially when Requiem Rowana first came out, a lot of people were bitching and moaning about Rowana being ass, while I was abusing the fuck out of Peyra Rowana combo even before Rowana's buff. And because Peyra has a much higher base speed than Lilias, I normally didn't have a problem with her because I play aggro. But Standard is the most mainstream way of playing the game. And Conqueror Lilias was a problem. One glance into her kit would explain why. She has debuff, she has extra turn, she has redirected provoke, she has ignore effect resistance, she has dual attacks. All of that made life really horrible for whoever has to play against her. This unit was the reason why first pick was such a huge advantage. Number 3. Contention Season. The season saw the release of the new face of the game, Luna. And she is the face of the game for a reason. It is reflected by the official infographic shown from Smilegate. The reason why she was so hated by the players was because of her S3, which makes her opponent not able to play the game. A lot of units rely on their passive to do stuff. Senya needs her passive to do her nuke, Haze needs his passive to do his one-shot, Landy needs her passive to survive, and Luna just shat all over them. Now take a look at this image again. Yes, Luna is at the top. Now look at who's below her. Politis has one of the most crippling S3 in the game. She pushes, slow down the opponents, and buff the fuck out of Tywin and Janua. She doesn't even need to be paired with them to be good, they were just bonuses. She always dual attacks on S1 and brings the unit with the highest attack. Back in previous seasons, a lot of people were complaining about Conqueror Lilias dominating the fuck out of everybody for multiple seasons. Now there is an even better Conqueror Lilias with the addition of C Phantom Politis. Numero 2. Spring 2025 Season. The Spring 2025 season was supposed to be the new beginning in RTA, with Smilegate promising to make changes on the number of pre-bans, third ban protection, and new mechanics to freshen things up. Instead, Smilegate shit on the players and released more units who abuse you like Minecraft YouTubers. The first problematic unit who had massive contributions in the war crime committed in this RTA season is Flan. Her whole gimmick is doing follow-up attacks every time an ally unit does a basic attack. The worst thing about Flan is that she shits on you, and you can't do anything about it because she has 100% evasion. Who thought that was a good idea? Next up is Harsetti, and back then, there should have been a bro code where no one picks Harsetti. When she came out, she was a problem. The only unit who could prevent her from doing her things was Zio. She broke the whole CR and speed mechanic. She destroyed the fun from the game by randomizing everything. You don't know who goes first and who goes last because everybody's the same speed, and it's all up to RNG. It is not possible to pick this unit and after the match say, I had fun. What's interesting is that some people defended the Harsetti release. This guy was saying how you can counter her by banning her. Thankfully later on, SG released counters for her, so she's not as powerful as she used to be, although she's still annoying as fuck. Number 1. Insight Season. In previous seasons, we've had the release of strong, borderline demonic openers like Conqueror Lilius and Lua. Couple that with Navy Captain Landy who does an AoE attack every single time she has once, you get Cancer. But if you think it can't get worse than Cancer, there is Rabies. One casino unit is bad enough, now you have 2. Euphine was a new addition to the Epic 7 meta and not a welcome one. If you're wondering what's so bad about Landy and Euphine, let me explain for you. In the game, there is an equipment set that allows your unit to counter 30% of the time when they are attacked. If you put this set on Landy, she would be able to counter with her S1. And like I said before, Landy has a chance to proc an extra attack when using her basic S1 skill. So that means total destruction. After all this, you would think it's over, and I would just move on to Euphine. But unfortunately, that's not the case. If you anger Landy enough for her to fill her angry bar, she would lash out like a teenage girl on her period and do her ultimate skill. And trust me, you don't want her to use her ultimate skill. Now let's move on to Euphine. Do you remember that there is a gear set that allows your unit to counter when attacked? Euphine has that built in her skill set, so she can counter regardless of what gear set you equip on her. This allows her to use the lifesteal set. This means, after you attack, she not only counters, but also regains HP. Euphine also has Angry Bar, and when she's angry, you're cooked. What really sets this meta up in the number 1 spot is not only the units in the meta itself, but also the lasting consequences it has on future metas. Smilegate would go on to release even more brain rots to counter units in this RTA season.